Hello everyone! Welcome back to the channel, fellow proxies and lore enthusiasts. Today, we're deep diving into one of Zenless Zone Zero's most intriguing characters. I've seen a lot of popularity on X with this character and in a few other places. We are going to talk about Seth Lowell. This is also why we are in Public Security's office.
Listen up, you scumbag! I'm gonna beat you fair and square! I don't believe in resorting to cheap tricks.
There will be no builds, no combat tips, just pure story, backstory, and a little bit of a psychological breakdown of what makes this rookie officer tick. If you're fascinated by themes of idealism, family rifts, and the struggle to prove oneself in a chaotic world, buckle up. Let's unpack Seth's journey from wide-eyed admirer to determined defender of justice. Just a reminder, I do this for fun, as I enjoy the world and characters of Zenless Zone Zero. Also, if I miss anything, feel free to tell me. I know I can be a little bit smooth-brained, but yeah, and also let me know how you like me presenting in this new format, because, well, it's a little bit of a challenge to do it like this instead of the VTuber stuff, and I do enjoy how it looks with using VRchat to be able to do these types of discussions. But yeah, let me know how you enjoy it and how you like it, and I will probably just completely rebrand into this right here. Anyway.
You brat! What are you doing?
I can't stand dishonesty! I've heard enough and I've taken enough! You demand loyalty, but will sacrifice your companions on a whim for your own greed! Jane, do you get it now? The filthy nature of these gangsters! If you would have just agreed to my terms, we could have avoided all this nonsense!
I agreed
but you're
to your
just so
terms.
obsessed with... hang on. What did you say?
I agreed to your terms. Turning over a new leaf, changing for the better. Okay, I agree.
Huh?
Seth Lowell burst onto the scene as a rookie officer in the Criminal Investigation Special Response Team. That is a mouthful. Picture this. A young, earnest law enforcer with pure, clear eyes and those distinctive, furry cat ears and tail. He's the kind of guy who declares, "Captain, I'll apprehend the perk," with unbridled enthusiasm. Kind of like a golden retriever, but he is a cat. Although, don't let his innocent appearance fool you. Many criminals have underestimated him because of it, only to pay the price. His backstory paints him as someone who's always been driven by a strong moral compass. From a young age, Seth has idolized the idea of justice, training rigorously to become an officer. One telling incident from his past: during his academy days, he scored a near-perfect 99 in close quarters arrests, with the only deduction coming from accidentally spraining his instructor's wrists. It's a small detail, but it hints to his raw passion, sometimes outpacing his control, a theme we'll see echoed in his psychology later. In the world of New Eridu, where hollows threaten everyday life and corruption lurks in the shadows, Seth represents the fresh-faced hope of the public security forces. He's not jaded yet. He's the rookie who's still fighting for what's right, untainted by the grey areas that plague more seasoned characters. Seth's lore really shines through in his personal stories and mindscape cinema, which gives us a glimpse into his inner world and key relationships. At the heart of it is his complicated bond with his older brother, a figure he once deeply admired and respected. As one entry puts it, Seth used to deeply admire and respect his older brother. But as you know, admiration is the furthest thing from understanding. This admiration stems from seeing his brother as a pinnacle of what an officer should be: strong, decisive, unwavering. However, as Seth grows, cracks appear in his idolization. In a pivotal moment captured in his core aspiration, Seth declares, "This is my choice. and it's the core responsibility of an officer. You're the one who has changed, brother. It's a raw confrontation, suggesting his brother may have shifted towards a more pragmatic or even cynical view of justice, perhaps influenced by the harsh realities of their world. Seth, on the other hand, clings to his ideals, vowing to become the finest officer, to make his brother eat his words. Events in the game further flesh this out. Seth often leads charges in team missions, showcasing his proactive nature, but these moments also highlight his recklessness. Criminals underestimate him due to his youthful, almost cute appearance, those innocent-looking ears and tail, and, I don't know, his probably hopeful golden retriever face. I say hopeful because he does at times look very like, his face just reminds me of a golden retriever like type of character, but he turns that to his advantage, proving time and again that looks can be deceiving. His story arc touch on themes of growth amid adversity. Midnight reflections, like suddenly waking up to realize someone might have been mocking him earlier, show Seth grappling with self-doubt in quiet moments. These aren't just filler. They're windows into a character who's constantly evolving, driven by a need to reconcile his black and white worldview with the messy truths of New Eridu. If we break down Seth's personality, he's the spitting image of the idealistic youth. Everything is clear-cut for him. Black and white, right and wrong. This makes him incredibly determined and confident. He's always the one charging ahead in missions, eager to prove his worth. But there's nuance here. Seth can be reckless, charging into situations without fully weighing the risks, which ties back to his recklessness of youth. He's proactive and bold, but that boldness sometimes borders on impulsivity. Socially, he's a bit oblivious. He might miss subtle digs or criticisms in the moment, only piecing them together later, as in, it wasn't until midnight that he suddenly woke up. Could that guy's comment earlier have been a dig at me? The slow reflex in social cues adds a layer of endearing vulnerability to his otherwise steadfast demeanor. Overall, Seth is optimistic, loyal, and fiercely protective of his ideals. He's the type who'd go out of his way to uphold justice, even if it means standing alone. Now, let's get into a little bit of his psyche here. The real meat of what drives Seth. At his core, he's motivated by a deep-seated need for validation, particularly from his brother. That distant admiration isn't just respect, it's a psychological anchor that's starting to fray. The law implies Seth's drive comes from wanting to bridge the gap between admiration and understanding, but it's evolving into something more defiant. He thinks, someday, I'll become the finest officer and make him eat his words. This suggests an inferiority complex masked by bravado, a classic case of sibling rivalry fueling personal growth. Seth's black and white idealism could be a defense mechanism against the chaos of New Eridu. In a world full of moral ambiguities, holding on to absolutes gives him purpose and stability. But this rigid mindset might lead to internal conflict as he encounters more grey areas, perhaps influenced by his brother's change. He risks disillusionment or burnout. His sensitivity to criticism points to underlying insecurity. Those late-night realizations aren't just funny quirks. They're signs of someone who internalizes feedback deeply, using it as fuel to improve, but also as a source of quiet torment. Motivationally, everything circles back to proving himself to his brother, to his team, and to the criminals who underestimate him. It's a resilience born from perceived weakness, turning innocent-looking traits into strengths. You could see his brother as a super-ego figure, embodying the ideals Seth strives for, while his recklessness represents an ID-driven impulse. But in simpler terms, Seth is a young man, on the cusp of maturity, wrestling with the fear of his ideals might not survive reality. And there you have it. A deep dive into Seth Lowell's lore and bit of the psyche. From his rookie roots and familial tensions to his unyielding idealism and hidden vulnerabilities. Seth embodies the struggle of youth in a fractured world. What do you think? Will his black and white views hold up? Or will new Eridu force him to adapt? Drop your thoughts below. And if you want more ZZZ lore and character breakdowns, hit that like and subscribe. That is the thing, I do not get into character builds. I only go into like story and lore and stuff like that. My character builds in-game are absolute garbage, and I know that, but I still get past content, so I don't really care. But the reason I play the game is due to the characters, design, the characters, the lore, all that stuff. So that's what I'll talk about here. Anyway, let me know how you like this new type of format that I am doing to present these videos. And I'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Keep hydrated. If you take medications, remember to take your medications. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm rambling on. I always ramble on at the end. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.
I mean it. Just try pulling on the cuffs with both hands.
It's no use. The muscle relaxants have... Huh? They broke. My strength is back. But how?
You sweat more being agitated, and you drink a lot of water, right?
I don't want to talk about the bathroom, Jane.
Urination plus sweating speeds metabolism enough to almost completely process the medicine.
So that's why you made me drink all the...